This week on Goofing Off.
Dominic is talking about wizards on games on a budget.
Brendan covers some weird cartoon on Animate.
And Face Off is a thing too, with Kyle.
All this and more on Goofing Off.
Welcome back to Goofing Off. I'm Dominic Fernoodaloodle.
And I'm Michaela Wilfred. Do you ever worry that technology and social media are becoming too important in today's society?
Hold on, let me finish this tweet.
While you're doing that, let's watch Goof and Chill.
Hey, and welcome back to Goof and Chill. I'm Michaela Wilfred. This episode I want to talk about something kinda dark. This Netflix original, Black Mirror. This show is an anthology of different stories based around many different technological advances we could make. Imagine a world where social media defines how your world works. You could rate others based on their social media presence and judge them. Imagine a game augmenting reality to make you live in a horror game. Or what about a memory card that allowed you to replay memories, zoom into details, or see other people's memories? Or how about a cartoon running for an office in politics? In my head, all of this sounds unique, exciting, and a lovely place that technology could go. I mean, why wouldn't you want to be able to make people like you by posting a picture? Black Mirror takes these ideas and manipulates them into something dark. What could possibly go wrong? A memory card that allows you to play back memories. Imagine the benefits to someone with Alzheimer's, being able to rely on a memory card in case you forget. However, imagine being very paranoid. Being able to watch people, their wording, their mannerism. Being able to question your wife as you see her laughing from a joke that her ex-boyfriend told. Or a terrorist deciding to post a video on YouTube of a kidnapping so the world could see it. Using polls to decide the fate of one person. I mean, I use YouTube and Twitter polls to gain access and get advice. But imagine it holding the embarrassment and future in the hands of the polls and a silly video, making it a major political issue. Black Mirror is one of the darkest shows I've ever watched. At the beginning of an episode, I keep hoping for one happy episode, one time. But this show is very cynical and oddly realistic. None of the characters have been too out there to not be able to empathize with. The characters have development as you learn more and more about them. Since the show is an anthology, if you don't like the story of one episode, just watch the next one. Another great thing about this show is the creators can use more exciting actors, since they only need to be there for one episode. One episode uses Bryce Dallas Howard, who you might remember as Claire in Jurassic World. Or how about Haley Atwell, who played Peggy Carter in the Marvel Universe, playing the wife of Domhnall Gleeson, who played Bill Weasley in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, and Captain Andrew Henry in The Revenant. And to be honest, I could keep going on with this very British cast. This show's been running since 2011. Season 1 has 3 episodes, Season 2 has 4, Season 3, which was just released on October 21st, has 6 episodes. A total of 12 episodes, and Netflix has confirmed the 4th season to release next year. The major scare of the show is it seems so modern and not that far off in the future. It could happen next year or next century. Well, that's all I have for you on this uplifting episode. Tweet at DTV Goofing Off with the hashtag Goof and Chill, and let me know what your favorite episode of Black Mirror is. Have fun Netflix searching.
Did you ever watch that anime?
You mean the one about hope, despair, and a little bear?
Yeah, I heard Brendan's covering it on Animate.
Cool, let's check it out.
Hello anime fans, I'm Brendan O'Hara and arigato for joining me for another exciting edition of Animate. Today I'm talking about everyone's favorite anime about a small bear kidnapping high school students and forcing them to murder each other. That's right, I'm talking about Danganronpa. Based on the visual novel of the same name, this series takes place at Hope's Peak Academy, an elite school where students who are the best in their field are invited to attend. These students are given titles of ultimates, such as Ultimate Fashionista or Ultimate Gambler. But the main character of this series is Makoto Naegi, who finds himself the winner of a raffle to become a student at Hope's Peak Academy, and thus becomes the ultimate lucky student. However, when he arrives at the school, he suddenly collapses and finds himself trapped in the school with several other students. They then meet Monokuma, a small bear who claims to be their principal and proposes a game to them. In order to escape the school, a student must murder another student and get away with it by getting someone else to be falsely accused in a class trial. However, the punishment for being found guilty, whether you are innocent or not, is a very stylish and very brutal execution. Now, there are plenty of things that make this series stand out, but first place in that category definitely goes to the characters. Each character is extremely unique and have their own little quips and quirks, and I found myself not really wanting any of them to die. But sadly, this is not that kind of series, which brings me to the story. Danganronpa has some of the best twists and turns I've seen in an anime, and is one of the few shows, anime or not, that truly kept me guessing until the very end. Production was handled by Studio Lerche and directed by Seiji Kishi, known for Angel Beats and most recently Assassination Classroom, and they do a stellar job of translating dozens of hours of gameplay into an exciting series. How did they get trapped in this school? What is really happening in the outside world? Who is the face behind the bear? And how did this girl get that buff? To find out, you'll have to check out this fantastic series for yourselves. I also must mention that while this is an excellent standalone series, what really makes it for me is the ever-expanding universe of games, shows, and novels that only add to the quality of the franchise. In closing, I just have to say, watch Danganronpa, play Danganronpa 2 and Ultra Despair Girls, or if you don't want to buy the game, just watch gameplay on YouTube so you can get the gist of the story because they're also really good. And then for the love of everything that is good, watch Danganronpa 3 because it is amazing. But that's all I've got for you this time. Be sure to tweet out any thoughts or recommendations you might have to ZTV Goofing Off using the hashtag Animate. Until next time, I'm Brendan O'Hara, and this has been Animate.
Do you ever think when you're very busy that you just need a break? Well, don't worry, we have one right here for you.
Like what you see here in Goofing Off? Be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube page. And also check out our Instagram. You're watching ZTV.
Coming up next, Mike is going to be talking us through some uncharted territory.
I'm really glad he's going for it.
Let's check out the captain himself on Mainstream Mike.
Hey everybody, I'm Mainstream Mike, your captain in the gaming mainstream. So, as I looked over last year's top 4 list, I realized I didn't get to play and review all the games I wanted. And with this year's top 4 list having many release dates at or near the middle of November, I figured I could talk about one more game from last year I missed. So, without further delay, this is Uncharted 4. For those of you who don't know, the Uncharted games have been a staple of the company Naughty Dog, and the games themselves have sold millions of copies worldwide, mixing in developed and likable characters, gunplay, and of course, a history quote to start off every game to put players in the mood for a fictional thrill ride. Uncharted 4 begins with our protagonist from the last 3 games, Nathan Drake, who at this point has given up the thrill ride of treasure hunting and settled down with his love interest from the last 2 games, Elena.
Yeah, of course. You? Really?
Come here.
But that peaceful life doesn't last long as we find out that Nathan's brother Sam needs his help for one last treasure hunt.
Yeah, can I help you?
Yeah, I'm, looking for my little brother.
It's about your height, a little bit leaner.
Definitely less gray in the temples.
Sam?
It's good to see you again, Nathan.
God, Sam.
Oh, all right. Take it easy, take it easy.
Now, at this point, I thought it was odd that Sam would be introduced so late in the series without any mention of him in former games. But it is understandable why Nathan wouldn't talk about him, considering for years he thought he got himself killed. But I digress. Let's look at the game, and as always, Naughty Dog came to impress. Everything looks great on the PS4, from landscapes to cutscene. And this Uncharted really feels like you're playing a movie, which may sound boring, but here it works, giving the player details while at the same time keeping them immersed in the game. Uncharted 4 also comes with collectibles in the game to unlock different guns for the multiplayer and the main story, which is okay, but I never really bought an Uncharted game for the multiplayer. And you can also unlock skins for the game, which I think is just a waste of space. That said, my final score for the Uncharted series is a big fat 10. Perfect. If you haven't played these games before, go out and buy the collector's box and get ready for the greatest treasure hunt of your life. So what did you guys think? Did you agree or disagree? Be sure to let me know by tweeting me at ZTV Goofing Off using the hashtag Mainstream. And until next time, I'm Mainstream Mike saying, see you later, guys.
If I were a wizard, I think I would focus entirely on conjuring up wheels of cheese.
I don't know. That sounds cheesy.
I wish I were a wizard so I could turn back time. And listen to that awesome joke again.
Well, speaking of time, it's time for Games on a Budget.
Hi everybody, I'm Dominic Verschmildier, and this is Games on a Budget. Today, I'll be looking at Magica, a satirical game about action, spell weaving, and accidentally electrocuting your friends.
Stay a while and listen, and I will tell you a story. A story of Dungeons and Dragons, of orcs and goblins, of ghouls and ghosts, of kings and quests, but most importantly, of wizards and vampires. Well, a story of wizards. Once upon a time in a land known as Midgard.
Learning to cast spells in Magica is a slow, rewarding, and sometimes harsh process. Each of the 8 elements are assigned to a key. Q readies water, E readies shield, A readies electricity, and so on. You can prepare up to 5 elements, and then choose to cast them on yourself, in front of you, or in the area around you. With this system, you can cast thousands of different spells. If you prepare electricity and arcane, you can shoot a powerful beam of lightning. Fire, earth, and shield cast at an area will create a smoldering barrier of stones around you. You can stack 5 elements of life and cast it on yourself for a powerful heal, or cast 5 elements of earth on yourself to drop a massive boulder on your head. Preparing certain elements can be tricky given the circumstances. For example, if your wizard is soaking wet, trying to ready electricity will shock you, while trying to ready a cold spell will freeze you solid. You can learn to cast more powerful magic by picking up spell tomes around the world. With these, you can learn to do things like call down a bolt of lightning to strike your enemies, or cast a spell to revive your allies, for times when you accidentally hit them with a bolt of lightning. Having a powerful spell prepared will slow you down significantly, meaning you have to wait for combat and cast quickly. This can create some pretty chaotic situations, where spastically casting magic can lead to helpful or dangerous discoveries. In situations like these, you could always fall back on your wizard's weapons. Staves will automatically cast a preset spell, and there exist less wizardly things you can assault your enemies with. The game is best played with friends. You can have up to 4 people in one game, with local and online co-op. Friendly fire is always enabled, and can lead to some hilarious situations, like accidentally obliterating your ally with a meteor, or missing them with a life spell and healing the enemy instead. Magica's story has you set off on a quest to stop a great evil. The story is only loosely there, and seems to revolve around making as many references and puns as it can. Luckily, the ridiculous humor and fun spellcasting make up for any story the game may be lacking. Aside from the adventure mode, there exists a challenge mode to take out waves of enemies, and a versus mode, where you can fight against your friends. If you really enjoy the game, you can buy downloadable content to unlock new adventures or wizard robes with unique abilities. Magica was developed by Arrowhead Game Studios and published by Paradox Interactive. You can find it on Steam for only $9.99. Know of any good cheap games? Like what I had for you today? Be sure to tweet at ZTV Goofing Off using the hashtag GOAB. Until next time, I'm Dominic Frilbnir, keeping your wallets full with games on a budget.
Må bra när ut! Spattar en väg upp! GVH-plankar! Rembrandt! Säkerordet är bananer!
A short break is happening, but don't worry, we'll be waiting right here when you get back. We're always waiting.
Like what you see here on Goofing Off? Be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to our YouTube page, and make sure to check us out on Instagram.
You're watching ZTV.
If you found yourself stranded on an alien planet with a bunch of walking plants at your command, what would you do?
I would probably use them to help rebuild my ship and learn more about them.
How convenient. That sounds a lot like the game Pikmin, being covered next by Kyle on Face Off. Hello everyone, I'm Kyle Glockner, back with another episode of Face Off. As an oft-forgotten Nintendo franchise, the Pikmin games are some of the best on the GameCube, offering a lot of new and unique gameplay mechanics not seen before or in many games since. Aside from the 2 games that released for the GameCube, a 3rd game was released for the Wii U, and the main character Olimar has appeared in Smash Bros. But if anyone knows the Pikmin franchise, they're likely going to think of the first 2 games. So today on Face Off, we'll be taking a look at Pikmin and Pikmin 2 for the GameCube. Let's get started. Released in 2001, Pikmin was a game unlike any other. You take control of Captain Olimar as you explore the planet of the Pikmin, trying to recover the pieces of your broken spaceship. This sounds simple enough, however, you only have 30 days to recover all of the pieces, and each day has a time limit, as being out after dark will put Olimar in grave danger. Now, at first this may sound like a relatively simple task. With 30 days to recover 30 pieces, only 25 of which are necessary, you may think that the game sounds pretty easy, but it's not. But in order to explain that, we first have to talk about the Pikmin themselves. In this game, there are 3 different types of Pikmin for Olimar to discover. There are red, who are the strongest and can resist fire, yellow, which can be thrown higher than the others and can also carry special bomb rocks, and finally blue, which can breathe underwater. Olimar must travel to different parts of the planet, using a maximum of 100 Pikmin at a time to carry the parts of his ship back, dealing with the time constraint, environmental hazards, and predators. Now, I won't talk about the time constraint until Pikmin 2, but I will talk about the environmental hazards and predators. The environment can be a pain in Pikmin, but in a way it's still a good thing. Throughout the levels of Pikmin, you can find fire, water, wind, and many other hazards that can kill your Pikmin. This causes you to carefully select which Pikmin you take with you to get your pieces. For example, if there's a ship piece surrounded by water, you can only use your blue Pikmin to retrieve it. Or, if there's any kind of fire that poses a threat, you have to use red Pikmin to get through the area. These can be really stressful when you're running out of time in a day and you're really close to getting a ship part. Now, something else that can factor into this is the predators of the planet. There are enemies throughout the game that will attack Olimar and his Pikmin if they see them. This causes you to learn how to fight with your Pikmin, launching them onto your enemies as they smack them with their flower heads. Meh, video games. Now, after Pikmin's initial release, fans only had to wait 3 years for a sequel on the same console. Pikmin 2 released in 2004 and serves as a direct sequel to the original Pikmin. The premise of this game is that Olimar's boss wants him to go back to the Pikmin planet in order to find treasure to bring back to his home planet. As Olimar once again prepares to depart for the Pikmin planet, he is joined by Louie, who works for the same company Olimar does. As they land on the planet, Louie and Olimar become separated and must reunite once again. During this, they each discover the Pikmin, ready and willing to help them in their quest. This time, there are 5 types of Pikmin. The original red, yellow, and blue Pikmin return, with yellow gaining a resistance to electricity, and 2 new Pikmin, purple and white, are added. The white Pikmin are faster than the others, resist poison gas, and can poison enemies if swallowed. Purple Pikmin are much slower and have no resistances, but they are immensely stronger than the other Pikmin, able to destroy large obstacles that the other Pikmin can do nothing about. Now, as far as the gameplay goes, similar to the original Pikmin, the player's days are timed out, leaving you unable to explore at night. However, there is no longer a limit on the amount of days you can spend on the planet, taking away every bit of urgency the original game packed into each and every day. On the contrary, this game contains many more hazards and enemies that utilize the new abilities of the Pikmin, creating many new scenarios not possible in the original Pikmin. Between these 2 games, it's really tough to pick one over the other, but in the end, I have to go with the original Pikmin. While there are a ton of new features in the second game, the limited days in the original really drives you to collect the ship pieces. Every second of every day feels so precious, and if you go through a day without collecting a piece, it makes you feel like you wasted so much time. But then, when you get multiple pieces in one day, it can feel so rewarding. So for this battle, the winner is the original Pikmin. So what do you think? Do you like the quick pacing of the original Pikmin, or the leisurely gameplay of the second game? Be sure to let me know by tweeting me at ZTV Goofing Off using the hashtag FaceOff. Until next time, I'm Kyle Glockner, and I'll see you next time on Face Off. That's all the time we have for today.
Be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Michaela Wilfred.
And I'm Dominic Frululi.
Thank you for taking the time to goof off with us.
I wouldn't wear pants.
We
Because I'd wear robes? I would just go, I mean,
you could not be wearing pants.
territory.
Yeah, I'm really glad he's going for it.
Coming up next, Mike is going to be talking us through some uncharted territory. Coming up next, Mike. It's being recorded. People can look at this later. Oranges. It's a lame. Imagine how sad Karis must feel. Oranges.
I'm sure they don't care at all.
That's it. We can't do better. We're done. Let's pack it up, guys.
This program was produced by ZTV at the University of Akron. To find out how you can make Emmy-winning media, visit the UA School of Communication online. ZTV. Make media. Make a difference.